Why black women moved to Mexico. Hi, broadcasting not live from Mazatlan, Mexico, I'm Bill the Geek. This is the Bill Dallas Lewis channel, and we make videos about the joys of living in Mexico. Introducing Teri Dawn Marshall. This interview with Teri Dawn will rock your world. This is part 3 of this interview. You really don't need to see parts 1 and 2 to value this interview. But if you want to see parts 1 and 2, go to billthegeek.org, scroll down to interviews, and you'll see Teri Dawn Marshall, part 1 and part 2. Be sure to watch the entire interview. The last sentence that comes out of Teri Dawn's mouth is extremely powerful. Teri Dawn is growing her channel. In the description, you'll see a link where you can join, and if you give her your email, you can get a free gift of suggestions. It's a PDF download that she has for you. Let's see what Teri Dawn Marshall has to say. Buckle up. Could you share your thoughts about the current exodus from the United States?
Yes, I can, because it's a current event. And I didn't realize that it was a current event until I was watching YouTube and watching all of these channels pop up all over the place and realizing that people, it was as if people were breaking free to live free. And it's Americans. It's Americans. It's, United States citizens who have decided that now is the time to break loose, to break free. And what is interesting about this phase is the fact that in droves, people of color are doing it. In droves. From baby boomers, Generation X, the millennials. I don't know if I said that right, but anyway, the young folks, the young folks, because I still think I'm a baby boomer, so everybody's young to me. But it isn't just on everybody's mind. It's on quite a few people's plans to do, tasks to do. And I believe that when we look back at this moment in history, 20 years from now, this is going to be a part of what we call African-American history. Because for over 400 years, our people have sat in darkness. We have sat and allowed the ills of racism, bias, and prejudice to sort of swirl around our lives and impact us. It's almost like a hurricane coming at you, and you find yourself out in the middle of the field, and you see a cow coming. Those things. And then the next thing you see is a big old truck, and you say, "What?" And it's all coming at you. And I know it's a metaphor of types or an analogy, but that's the way it feels sometimes when you're constantly being pelted with ignorance that doesn't make sense, and people dying, and it doesn't make sense, Mm-hmm. So folks are tired, they're fed up, and they're saying, I can do something about this. I can leave. I can break free to live free. And I'm quite sure.
Please leave a comment. Tell us what you think. And if you like the video, click the like button. If you know someone else that would like this video, please click the share button.
That Anglo-Americans feel the same way. In the work that I do, what I found was that the human experience is the same basically for everyone. Mm-hmm. And what do I mean by that? I could be sitting in a room with a Anglo guy. If I close my eyes, I would think I was talking to a brother, because I would be hearing some of the same hurts and pains about how he felt he was being treated, like the white dude, so-called white dude. And I say so-called because, the social construct, there's no such thing as black and white. We all, that we all know what that's about. So a part of this breaking free to live free is creating an identity, a sense of identity that allows you to create a world to which you want to belong, that is free of, of all the BS that has been shoveled our way, and we're expected to just take it. Now, this portion is more probably of a rant, but quite a few people are leaving for that reason. African Americans, because it's like, I can do better than this. And our American cousins on the other side, I don't want any more of this. I'm gone, And I know some people leave for tax reasons. Some people leave to make, like to live more affordably. All of that is sort of rolled up into the decision. But for people of color, it's really about survival. It's really about finding a peaceful moment on this planet by finding a peaceful place to go where people take care of themselves when the lights go out. See, so the lights are out in America. They're out. So the Exodus, this is a moment in American history. I said Black history before. I mean, African American history. Let me strike that. This is a moment in American history about people of color, and it's a shameful one. It's a shameful one. However, I'm looking forward. There's nothing shameful about it to me, but in terms of how this government has allowed the mistreatment of me, my family, my friends, my community, that's shameful. So, but that's the Exodus. I think that there's going to be more, as I would say, over the next 36 months. This is what I'm thinking. There has got to be some kind of, I wouldn't call it backlash, but some kind of response from, from the government. Who cares? I don't. I plan on being on somebody's beach.
We go live every Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Time. Click that subscribe button and the bell, and you'll get a notification. And we have a good time every Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Time.
And Acapulco was washed out. Excuse me. What's that? Puerto Vallarta? I don't know if I said that right.
Oh, you said that's right. That's okay. Right.
And Mazatlan. So yeah. So the Exodus is happening now. I believe it's a part of history. There's a lot of emotions behind this Exodus, but I think at the end of the day, it's going to be a lot of joy for people who have decided just to do that thing and, and break free.
Yes. Yeah. There's so much to say. And I don't think that I don't think a lot of Black people realize how much they're X'd out of televisions, X'd out of the magazines. You can go to any newspaper. I look at the Washington Post every day, the Huffington Post. And if you look at all the pictures, it's like 99% white people. It's like if you watch the news, watch most TV programs, it's like what? And they want to ban Black people's programs from schools. Not allowed to talk about the Black experience in colleges. It's just like you don't exist. Your history does not exist. Yet we can study about the Italians and the Irish and the English and the French, but we can't study about Nigeria. We can't study about all these other places. It's like you do not exist. And they talk about getting canceled We were canceled long ago. I'ma shut up. I'ma shut up.
Well, it's true, Bill. I don't think people really get how that makes one feel. I don't, I know that you have a great audience. And sometimes, when you're talking about the situation as it is, some folks, well, Bill, I don't want to hear this. I'm gonna go, and I've read those remarks, and I think to myself, and I have commented on some of those remarks, right?
Mhm.
But I don't hold that against people because, to me, that's a response of someone or from someone who is sensitive to people being mistreated, and they have no power to change it. So that's why they left. They have no power to change it, and I understand that. But on the other hand, it doesn't mean that just because you feel hopeless about it and helpless about it, that others do, and especially those of us who are the targets. See, because I don't believe that the people who are making those remarks on your channel are people of color.
No.
I
No.
don't believe that.
Mhm.
Those of us who have been targeted,
Mhm.
or who are the targets, it hurts. It hurts. We are native to this country. What do I mean by that? 400 years ago, let's just take it on back. 400 years ago, there was a lot of mixing going on. Just let me say that, a whole bunch of mixing going on, and out of that mixing came a new blend, a new DNA mix of human being, and these children that were born on this land were called by the French Creole. The original, excuse me, the original meaning of the word Creole was children of the New World. So even the West Africans that were having children with West Africans, the French would say Creole, because these children were born right here on this land. And it just so happens that the mix that most of us has encompasses just about every DNA that hit this, this scene 400 years ago. European, West African, Asian, Native, the indigenous people, because I know some of them don't like to be called Native Americans.
Okay.
And I understand that. So I want to be respectful.
Yeah, excuse me. I'm 25% Cherokee.
And I see it. I could see it in y'all. I knew I was either looking at Brit or Native American, one of the two.
Okay.
British or it's probably a mixture of both. And so this is our country. Okay, I'm going to say something, and I hope you don't lose half of your audience, but it's true. Those who have British or Irish or Scottish or French are a blend of those mixes. They can go back. They can find their way back to a country where people look just like them. All right. When people say go back home, well, some other people can find their ways home too. I'm not saying go back home. No, America is your home. I understand that. But I'm talking to all the smart mouth people who will say, well, you can just go back home. But when they're talking to people of color, when they're talking to me, I'm home. This is where we were created. Which part of me should go to Britain? Which part of me needs to go back to to the Congo or Nigeria or the Philippines. Oh, there's a part of me that was already here, Native American. This is my DNA mix.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, this whole idea of somehow that we are all so different is a lie. We are one humanity. We are one human family.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much, Teri Dawn Marshall, for joining us again. We have many more videos to come. Please click that subscribe button and we'll see you in the next video.